I'm lucky enough to have myself a new piece of private land really, really close to home, so I can just duck out for an evening hunt for a couple of hours. It is awesome. And there's deer here. I've just spotted a group of deer down here. They look to be spikers, and I'm just sitting here watching them at the moment. It's only like 4:30 in the afternoon. It's not getting dark until like 8:30. So obviously the plan is to get into bow range and try and get an arrow on one of these spikers. That is the dream, at least. And for the most part, this farm is a farm. It's a beef farm. It's a, dry stock farm. There's a little bit of gorse around and a few trees. There is actually a nice little block of bush on the farm, but the deer don't ever seem to be in there. They're in the paddocks, and they're in amongst the gorse and in amongst these little bits of scrub. And well, I've hunted here. This is the 4th day that I've hunted here, and that's what I'm kind of picking up on. And I've just spotted these deer walking around at 4 o'clock in the afternoon out in the open on a bright sunny day with next to no cover other than a little bit of gorse. They have just ducked into the gut here below me, so I want to take this super slow. Again, I got to 8 o'clock to get into bow range. The wind on this one will probably be the deciding factor. I'm probably going to have to hang back a little bit. The slower, as I get further and further, the wind's perfect here, but as I get further and further down this gut, it's going to start swinging around, I think. And at some point, if the wind drops off and it starts to cool down, then the wind will do what the wind does. But yeah, anyway, super cool. Already spotted deer, only been here for an hour. This is the first time I've got up to this end of the property. There's always been cattle up this end of the property, so I haven't ventured up this way yet. But looking at the farm on a aerial map, a Google map, these couple of guts here full of gorse and a few pine trees and down trees and some other scrub, and there's a pond and a few bits and pieces down here. It's just perfect. So yeah, 4 hours to get in bow range of a spiker. Here we go. The deer were just over and behind me when I seen them. I tried to come down this ridge, but the wind's way too swirly. I've got to stay on this side. The wind's in my face coming straight up the hill here, but anything further down is not good, so I might just kick back here for a bit. I found them, and they ain't far from where I last seen them, only it isn't just a couple of spikers. I think I'd seen 4 at the most, but there's multiple deer there. There are pregnant does. I thought the does would have had their fawns by now. Today's the 13th of December. There's pregnant does, there's yearlings, there's spikers, there's multiple targets. So gonna have to backtrack around the way I came. I've just spent an hour sneaking around here to get to a different vantage point to look into there. They're on the move. Gutted. You gotta be joking. I just took the GoPro off my head and the video on the GoPro is 27 minutes long. I've been standing in this one spot for 27 minutes. Finally get it there at like 30 and 40, and closest they got was 33, and I don't want to take that shot at a deer. Anyway, that one doe got to right there at like 12 and I was already full draw and everything, and she just picked me out straight away. She's been standing over there at 40 meters for 27 minutes and didn't pick me out, but finally gets to there and just picks me out at full draw. I don't my heart rate was way up. So anyway, super cool afternoon. I've been on those deer for near on 4 hours. It's sun's gone. It ain't over just yet. I got to get back to the car. So yeah, bugger, that was super cool, man. I love being able to see deer from a long way off and then sneak in on them, but in this open country to get to. These days I've been pushing my range a little bit. I have shot a couple of deer at 26 and 27 and one at 28 and a half. So I've kind of pushed my shooting to inside 30 instead of inside 25. But yeah, closest they were in all of that time was like 33. Anyway, like I said, it ain't over just yet. I got to get back to the car. I got a group of deer just in the gut behind this pine tree over here, but at the moment the wind thermals are just going straight downhill. There is supposed to be some wind picking up soon. It's supposed to already be here, but coming this way, so I'm just sitting here at the moment waiting and hoping that the wind starts, because if I go in there now I'm at the mercy of the wind, which doesn't often work out for me. So yeah, just kicking back here, hoping this wind picks up, and then I can make a move on these deer, or maybe they make a move before then and put themselves in a better position. Time will tell. You're lucky you're on the neighbour's side of the fence, dear. I'd happily eat that one good back leg you've got. Just put an hour into that. There's still 4 or 5 deer in this gut up here, but I just watched those 2 deer move down into this gut. The boundary fence is right there. One of the deer came through the boundary fence and walked up and over the hill, and I thought sooner or later that one would too. And yeah, after watching it for a bit, seeing that it only had 3 legs, yeah, it wasn't going anywhere. It was just going to stay bedded in there for the day. So I'll head back and see if I can get on these other ones. They're just right in the bottom of a gut, and it's just too many of them. I'd rather have one like that than 4 or 5 or 6 or however many are in that gut. But anyway, I'll have a crack at them and then that'll be it. Day done. Gotcha! Down. Gotcha! Down. Nice work, Nato. That was a cool stalk. Yeah, I got one. That was awesome stalk. That was super cool. I came up here, the wind felt like it was going over there, but the wind kind of direction was more or less blowing up here. Then I went right up around, started coming down this ridge, but then the wind felt like it was coming over this ridge. So then I was like, oh, the only chance I've got is just to come up here, poke my head over into here. I last seen them just there, and hope that I can get a shot. And I had that little bit of gorse up there ranged at 27 meters, and I was like, anything this side of that is fair game. And that deer was just this side of that, and yeah. When the arrow hit it, I just seen the blood fly. The noise was perfect, everything was perfect, and when it was running up the hill, yeah, I could see blood flowing, and it fell over just out of sight. Just about got the just about filmed it going down too. So super cool morning, man. It's so good having somewhere close to home that has deer. This is the 5th hunt I've been here, and all 5 hunts I've seen deer, and all 5 hunts I've been close to deer. The first day I was here, I got full draw on deer, and they're at 29, but they were looking at me, so I didn't want to shoot. And then I got 2 trips. Both times I got busted before I could draw the bow, and deer were running away. And yeah, I've been filming deer and just enjoying hunting in open country, like a farm. Super cool. Anyway, go find my arrow. Should be sticking out of the bank just over there. I'd imagine it went clean through the deer, but it might have hit the bank before it got out the other side of the deer, because it's pretty steep over there, and we'll go and collect the deer. Beautiful. The only thing with hunting this open country is I'm gonna have to drag this deer a fair way to find a tree. Oh, did you have to land head first into the mud? Oh, God, it's a beautiful animal. Covered in mud. Where's the nearest tree gonna be? I'll go find this arrow first, I think. My yellow vein is red. Beautiful. I just pulled my arrow out of the ground and then looked up the hill, and holy crap. No wonder I could see the blood flying out of it. Jeez. Well, this will be a first on the boulder triangle. I'm going to butcher that deer on the ground because I literally can't get to a tree. Well, I could if I was 20 years younger or something. I could gut it and carry it, but the deer's covered in mud and blood and guts, and oh man. And yeah, there's no trees until I get over that ridge and into that next gut. So doing it on the ground by the looks, unless I take a concrete pill. I don't want to get any mud and crap on this deer. If I get it to a tree, it'll be fine, but on the ground, it'll be a little bit more tricky. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Well, all things considered, that wasn't so bad. I thought it was going to be a freaking mess. Deer was covered in mud, but anyway, I left all the bones and everything just because I didn't want to get any crap on it. So just as soon as I could get it into a bag, I got it into a bag. So I got to bone it out when I get home, but that's all good. Other than that, it's done. Got a deer in a freaking paddock with a bow. Well, not really a paddock, it's a pretty steep gut. That was the only reason I got so close to them. But anyway, cool day.